June 28th, 1914. Sarajevo. The world unknowingly moves one step closer to war. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, arrives with his wife Sophie in a royal motorcade. Unknown to them, Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip lurks nearby, part of a secret plot to end the empire's control over the Balkans. An earlier attempt fails. A bomb is thrown at the motorcade, but misses. The assassin is caught. Later that day, a wrong turn leads Franz Ferdinand's car right into Princip's path. 2 gunshots ring out. The Archduke and his wife lie dead. The spark is lit, and Europe marches toward war. In the aftermath of the assassination, Austria-Hungary delivers an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding cooperation in the investigation. Serbia replies with partial acceptance, but Austria-Hungary is not satisfied. July 28, 1914. Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Russia, seeing itself as protector of Slavic nations, mobilizes its army in defense of Serbia. Germany, bound by alliance to Austria-Hungary, declares war on Russia, and then on France. When German troops violate Belgian neutrality, Britain enters the war. Within a week, the great powers of Europe are at war. The alliance web tightens, and the world holds its breath. By late 1914, the Western Front freezes into place, a deadly stalemate from the North Sea to Switzerland. Soldiers dig in. Life in the trenches becomes a nightmare of mud, rats, and constant fear. Daily routines include eating, standing guard, and waiting for the next attack, sometimes for weeks. Then comes the whistle. Soldiers climb out of the trench into no man's land, facing near certain death. No man's land is a death trap. Mud, barbed wire, and machine gun fire await every charge. This was modern war, not about glory or swift victories, but survival in the mud and blood. By 1915, the Western Front stretches through northern France and Belgium, a line soaked in blood and broken dreams. In Belgium, the town of Ypres becomes a symbol of brutal, unending combat, reduced to ruins by endless artillery fire. Artillery rules the battlefield. Shells fall day and night, reshaping the earth and destroying everything in their path. Entire towns vanish. Homes, schools, and churches crumble under the weight of mechanized war. Amid the chaos, soldiers fight for inches, charging into machine gun fire, only to fall where they stand. The Western Front becomes a graveyard, not of heroes, but of a generation lost to the mud. While the Western Front grinds to a halt, the East explodes with mobility and chaos. Russia fields one of the largest armies in the world, but struggles with outdated tactics and poor supply lines. Germany strikes fast, using railways and modern coordination to trap Russian forces at Tannenberg. At Tannenberg, 30,000 Russian soldiers are killed and nearly 100,000 captured, a devastating defeat. Yet Russia does not collapse. Its sheer size and manpower mean the Eastern Front remains active for years. In the East, victory is never final, and winter is just another enemy. World War I ushers in a new era of warfare, one shaped by machines, chemicals, and mass destruction. The machine gun changes everything, cutting down waves of men in seconds. Barbed wire and artillery make frontal assaults deadly, yet commanders order them again and again. April 1915. Ypres, Belgium. Germany unleashes poison gas for the first time. Gas burns lungs, blinds eyes, and leaves soldiers dying slowly. Even survivors are forever scarred. In 1916, tanks appear for the first time on the battlefield, mechanical beasts of steel and fear. Technology was meant to end the war quickly, but only made it more brutal, more human, more horrifying. While armies clash on land, the seas become battlegrounds of strategy, starvation, and silent death. Germany deploys U-boats, submarines that strike from the depths without warning. Merchant ships are targeted. Civilians become casualties of total war. The British Navy responds with a blockade, cutting off Germany's food and supplies. As food grows scarce, hunger spreads across Germany, weakening both army and morale. Invisible and silent, the war at sea strangles nations, far from the trenches, but just as deadly. For 3 years, the United States watches from afar, divided between isolation and involvement. Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare and the sinking of the Lusitania shift public opinion. When the Zimmermann telegram reveals a secret German plot to ally with Mexico, outrage explodes. April 6, 1917. The United States declares war on Germany. Over 2 million fresh American soldiers, known as doughboys, cross the Atlantic in waves. They arrive in a broken Europe, bringing hope, firepower, and the beginning of the end. By late 1918, the German Empire is crumbling, battered by war, hunger, and revolution at home. On the Western Front, the Allies launch a final offensive, overwhelming the exhausted German army. Germany's allies fall one by one. Austria-Hungary breaks apart. The Ottoman Empire surrenders. Inside Germany, mutiny erupts in the navy. The Kaiser flees. A republic is declared. On November 11, 1918, at 11 a.m., the guns finally fall silent. The war is over, but peace will not come easily. The war may be over, but the peace is far from simple. In June 1919, world leaders gather to sign the Treaty of Versailles, but Germany is not allowed to negotiate. The treaty blames Germany for the war and imposes crushing penalties: territory lost, colonies seized, and billions in reparations. Millions are dead, entire cities destroyed, a generation lost, and scars that will not heal. Veterans return home changed, physically and mentally, some with medals, others with nothing. And though the Great War ends, its legacy will shape the century and light the fuse for the next.